All right, update time. It's been a long time since I've made any kind of car related, me talking to camera type video. This is kind of an update. I've got this contraption now. That's new. Also something really new. My old streetcar is looking like that. We got a lot to get into. So I believe the last time that I left off on making any kind of video was Project Overtime Trans Am. My white Trans Am that used to sit where my red one now sits. And my red one now sits there because I have totally ditched the idea of making a race car out of the arguably rustier, more race car style candidate. Instead, I hacked up my nice low-ish mile, no rust whatsoever streetcar. Ran perfectly fine. Nothing was wrong with it. And we are going full bore with big turbo, single turbo, 6-liter LS. And I'm gonna get into some of the stuff that I've gotten since then, since the last time you see me make a video. Starting with the engine. So let's get into that. So again, I don't remember exactly where I left off with any of the ideas that I had or whatever. I think last time I had talked about doing a small twin turbo 5.3 setup. Now I came across a 6-liter, and actually, right there is the turbo for it. That's new too. I'm jumping ahead. Hold on. So I got a 6-liter, got a bunch of parts for it, built it right here in the full factory race shop, obviously. And yeah, here it is right here. So there is the motor. It is just a Gen 3 6.0 with the bare minimum, basically. We do have LS3 style heads. We splurged a little bit and we got some head studs. You know, all the gold a guy needs. And these valve covers are not a permanent deal. But it's a pretty decent little unit. It's Gen 4 rotating assembly with flat tops out of an LS2. Yeah, the 821 heads with the big valves in them. This doodab is going to be subject to change here soon, because that's a whole different can of worms that I'll get into. But yeah, this is how we're looking. And over here, don't mind the mess of everything. Here is our little guy. Here's the little turbo. It is a 8375 from VS Racing. I think overall size is an 80 millimeter is what it's advertised as. But it's pretty decent. It's still on a T4 flange, so it's not crazy huge. kind of hoping the tiny flange will do it and make for a pretty quick spool time on that old unit right there. But we've also came across the whole reason for all the gold on everything. Probably the nicest thing I've ever bought. And it's just sitting on a shelf. But that's neither here nor there. So this is a Holley low ram with the Tick intercooler brick. Never ran one of these. So we are dipping into new territory. So that ought to be neat. So I know what you're thinking. What's the big can of worms that you're getting ready to tell us that you keep not telling us? Well, I'll tell you. So it all started with a damn torque converter. Torque converter I had in the old setup, well, it was just that. It was old. Worked great for the 5 years that it was in the street setup. Behind the 6-liter with all the power and all the boosters, not ideal. Not ideal in the slightest. Matter of fact, the guy who built the converter said if I would have put that behind any kind of power, it probably would have just blown up. So, in wanting to avoid that, I took it back to him and I said, let's build me a new one. And then that turned into, hey, your 4L80 could use a refresh. Yeah, I bet it could. And then he showed me pictures and whatnot, and I was like, yeah, okay, it actually does. So, basically, long story short, because I'm really bad at shooting videos of any kind, long story short is I now have a 4L80 that should be able to hold up to, give or take, mostly take, 1,500 horse-ish. SFI bell, Jake's Performance D1 trans brake and valve body, all Sonex internals for the hard parts, heavy duty clutches, Circle D, everything, all the parts are basically from Circle D. Circle D billet converter. I've even got a billet Circle D flex plate now coming. That's why I said that this little doodad would be going away. Because I got billet now. I don't need that. I got billet. I'm officially a race car driver. I got billet. But yeah, I don't know when that's going to be done. My valve body showed up like a week ago, so we're getting there. We're getting there on that side of things. So that's almost wrapped up. I've got suspension stuff over here that has to go in. I'm waiting on my coilovers for the front of this thing. But yeah, I'll show you that stuff too. This stuff's pretty trick. The guy who makes this makes it all by himself, and he does a pretty good job. I'm not gonna lie. So on this wonderful parts placement mat, it's definitely not old carpet, is a K-member, caster camber plates, and control arms from a company called PA Racing. Pretty sweet. This stuff looks so much better than this 1991 special garbage. Don't mind the welds, did them myself. And I am professional. So with doing all of this other stuff, I am still gonna be rocking The OG Terminator stuff. The wiring harness and stuff is here on the shelf. Don't worry, the ECU and stuff is actually in a toolbox that's sealed away from possible rain getting on it. But that's neither here nor there. What else? Oh yeah, wiring. The stuff I'm really good at. I'm not good at it at all. I don't remember that. I want to say it's Race Wire Solutions or something like that. I plan on getting a pre-terminated wiring harness from them. It leaves you a bunch of extra wire to basically run whatever you need, wherever you need it. And it's all terminated on the box end. So it's already got like inputs and outputs running in and out of it. You just have to do it and determine where they're going exactly and what they're doing, what their function is, yada yada. So I plan on ordering that from them mainly to save me some time, because I will show you what the state of the inside of this car looks like. It's great. Don't mind the lighting, but this is what we're working with. This was a full interior car about 6 months ago. And there isn't a lick of wiring left in here. Oh, what have I done? I've made sure that this car will probably never run again, is what I did. Oh, God. Okay, so I did the shout out thing once already. So we're going to like speed run this one. Matt Walter Racecraft, thank you. Jason at PA Racing, who I also got this stuff from. All my friends, Camden, Kaylee, Cody, Connor, Christian at Laheta Racing, and my wife. She puts up with a lot of expensive looking invoices that show up in the mail. And then I gotta give a huge shout out to the people behind the scenes. My dad, for always encouraging bad behavior and bad spending habits. Of course, the other buddies, all the Langs, Matt Lang, our buddy Poot, who's Matt Lang's brother, Nathan Boyster, all the people behind the scenes that nobody knows about. They help so much with questions, with parts, everything. I'm very, very grateful, and I'm looking forward to what becomes of this. And I hope to take all you guys, I hope to take whoever is willing to watch along with me. So thank you for watching. Till next time.